So I had the opportunity to fly out to New York City and attend Samsung's press event on the Galaxy Note 8. And I also had the opportunity to get some hands-on time with it, spend a couple of hours and give you guys my first impressions. This is not a review by any means. If you guys are looking for a full review, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also check mark on that notification so you guys don't miss out on that video. Now, a lot of people seem to be upset that the Galaxy Note 8 resembles the Galaxy S8 Plus, and I can see where Samsung has taken some design cues from the Galaxy S8 Plus, but I look at it like this. Why is that a bad thing? You see this a lot in different types of markets. In fact, you see this a lot in the automotive industry. You have BMW with their 5 Series, and then you have the BMW M5. Now, someone can argue, why would I spend $40,000 on extra more on the M5 when I can just get the 5 Series BMW? Obviously, they look very similar, but the M5 is gonna have a better motor, it's gonna have a lot more power, it's gonna look aesthetically slightly different than the 5 Series. You see that also with Mercedes. They have their C Series line, then there's their AMG line. There's a lot of different similarities with both of them, but one is gonna have more features, more functionalities. The Note 8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus may look very similar, but the Note lineup definitely has features that set it apart from the Galaxy S8 Plus, which let's go ahead and talk about those right now. So obviously, they are very similar in terms of design. They both don't have the home button anymore, which they've removed from the previous generation. It's a lot wider in terms of display, so you have a 6.3-inch display. The backs are very similar. They're both made of glass, and you have to be careful because it does scratch. It can actually break very easily, and it's a fingerprint magnet, so you might want to do what I did, which is put a skin. The one here is from rebranded, and I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to pick one up for yourself. There's also some familiar elements like wireless charging, which is great. So you also have an SD card, so if you want to be able to expand your storage, that's something that obviously we're not going to complain about that. But some of the things that make this different is obviously the S Pen, and I think the S Pen in itself, that's what makes the Note so special. You have so many features and functionality, and Samsung has improved and added a lot more features, which I will talk about in my full review. But again, the Note, what makes it special is that pen, being able to do things like, for example, pulling out the phone, not having to activate the display. If I have a to-do list, I can go ahead and write it down without turning on the display. If I have a grocery list, I can do the same thing, maybe pin that to my home screen, so when I'm out shopping, I can go ahead and just cross things out or erase them. Those are the little things that may seem insignificant, but are one of the things that a lot of people like about the Note is the S Pen, and it's one of the reasons why people choose to buy this phone, because it's such a powerful tool. Something else that's different from the Galaxy S8 Plus compared to the Note 8 is that the Note 8 has more RAM. And this is actually very handy if you do plan to use the deck station, because everything just runs a lot quicker, a lot smoother, even when playing video games. Now, one of the biggest changes of the Note 8 is the fact that now it has a dual camera system. Now, I'm a big fan of dual cameras because I love to take pictures, and for those of you that love to take pictures also, I think are really going to enjoy this. Obviously, the Galaxy S8 Plus does not have a dual camera system, so this is something that you can only expect to have on the Note 8, and that's being able to take 2 pictures or being able to take pictures at different focal lengths. You have your standard focal length, and then you have your telephoto zoom lens, which actually looks, in my testing, the pictures that I took looked great. They also have something sort of like iPhone and a lot of these other manufacturers that are implementing sort of like a software blur. I guess they call it portrait mode, but Samsung calls it live focus. This is where you get the blurred out background, that depth of field, and you can control this. And something that I really like is that you can control it even after you've taken the picture. So let's say you've taken the picture, you didn't like the way it turned out, maybe it was too blurry and you want to kind of tone it down. You're able to do that by going back to the app and adjusting the slider to get the depth of field that you want. There's also a lot of software improvements under the hood. For example, one of my favorite ones is being able to create a 2-app shortcut, which will actually load split window. So for example, if you do a lot of shopping and say you want eBay and Amazon to compare prices, all you need to do is create these 2 shortcuts, and then whenever you press on it, both of these will load side by side. Let's say, for example, you have something for like a car mode, where you have Google Maps and maybe your favorite, music app, whether it be Pandora, Spotify, whatever it is. And then whenever you're in your car, you can have it automatically load up both of these apps side by side. And that's something that I really like, and hopefully they bring that over to the Galaxy S8 Plus. They also had other features, more, I guess you can call it Bigsby enhancements, very similar to Tasker, where you can do scripts. For example, you can have a mode where you take a picture picture and it'll automatically apply a filter, add it to a specific folder. A lot of different cool things that we didn't get to try out because it wasn't available, but that's something that I thoroughly want to test out, so make sure to subscribe for the full review on that. So for my first impressions, this looks like a very solid phone. It is one of the best Android phones that you can buy in terms of features and functionality. So going back to the car analogy where you have the standard 5 series, like 530, 540i, compared to the M5. The guy who's gonna buy the M5 wants all of the bells and whistles, doesn't care if he's gonna spend $40,000 more compared to the standard 5 series. The guy who buys the 5 series probably wants the M5, doesn't wanna fork out the extra money to get the M5, but is happy with the way it looks. That's basically what it comes down to, because at the end of the day, if you compare all of the Android phones right now that exist, there's nothing that compares to the Galaxy Note lineup. There's no other phone right now with an S Pen or a similar style pen that offers all of these features and functionality, that's gonna have wireless charging, is gonna have, SD card support, is gonna be water resistant, is gonna have all of these features packed into, this awesome phone. There's nothing out there right now. So yes, Samsung may be asking for a lot of money for this phone, but it's the only one out there. It's a very unique phone. And if you want something similar to it, go with the Galaxy S8 Plus. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Also, let me know any questions you guys have in the comment section down below. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat at MondoBytes, link down below if you guys want to see behind the scenes. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.